Hi everybody, welcome back to Northern Sounds ASMR. Today I thought I'd do a soft-spoken scroll, if you will, through an old and battered tarot card set that I have in my possession. I'm not going to do anything spooky, not going to frighten anybody, not going to tell anybody stuff that they don't believe or would make them feel uncomfortable. I just wanted to show you a handful of the cards in the deck, and it's something that my family have done for a very long time. They have many sisters, and a whole bunch of them believe that they're special psychics. We all want to believe we're special and individual, don't we? So yes, I too am a bit of a believer. I'm hugely skeptical, though, of people and their psychic abilities. And I know some people are very... I know that... I'll try English, that might help. Some people believe that they are completely and utterly, truly psychic and mediums. And some people just like to take the mickey out of others and take money from them for doing it. Sorry, a little frog in my throat today. I've seen the real McCoy, and I've seen charlatans, and 99.9% of people who do this kind of thing are charlatans and prey on poor unfortunates. However, we're not going there today. We're not talking about that kind of thing. All we're talking about is some of the cards, and have a look at them, see the pretty pictures, and see if we can explain a few things along the way. So I'll just pick some out at random, and we'll get through as many as we get through. We don't have to get through all of them. But here goes. So the first one, well, let me say then, it's the first two, because they've dropped out at the same time. See, and I can't even count, that's three. And oh, look at these bad, naughty, nasty cards. Oh, Death and the Devil and the Hierophant. Well, these are things that people see, and they use these kind of cards are used, especially something like Death is used in the movies, isn't it, often, to show that, oh, the bad guys are going to win and you're going to die and it's all spooky. That's not what this means. What it means in a tarot aspect is an ending, is that something has come to an end. A job you're at, a relationship you're in, or you're waiting for something to finish. You know, maybe you're applying for jobs because you can't stand the job you're in and you're desperate for another job, and that could mean that the search is over and the next application for a job is going to be successful. That's what these kinds of things mean. And if you look at them, they're not necessarily always horrendous. Got lovely little people down here, and they're offering up flowers and money and jewels and stuff, you know? Maybe it's a little spooky. The devil. Again, not always what it seems. It's not a Rosemary's Baby kind of thing. What the devil can mean. You see these people here on strings, and they are dancing. They're dancing to the tune of the devil. He's blowing his horn. And this basically means that you're not in control. You know, that somebody else is you're not the boss of the situation. And it may be that you're not the boss of your job, and the person that you work for makes you jump through hoops and doesn't appreciate you. You know, and that can be seen as a devil, not an underground, ooh, Ouija board, we're going to get ghosts coming in kind of devil. They have different... The meanings are not as obvious as they first appear. And this one, you know, the Hierophant, this is a guy that appears to be on his own, but is carrying a message. And there is light behind him. There is light at the end of the tunnel. Let's find another few. So what else have we got? Should we... there's 2 there, 3. There's another 3. We'll drop out and see what they look like. See how pretty they are, if not. No, you see, I can't count. There's 4. So... here you have the King of Cups. The cup of life. Music. Water. Lush green pastures around him, blue skies, blue seas. Looks like a bit of a happy guy. It's quite pretty, isn't it? The King of Cups sitting on his grand throne. The Page of Wands. And this is somebody bringing a message, isn't it? They've got what the Americans would call a torch. I suppose we'd call it a torch as well, really, although we confuse it with a torch that you put batteries in and shine a flashlight. And this page is sitting upon a golden ram and fast approaching the rising sun over these glorious green fields, with the darkness of night disappearing and the fresh morning beginning. Lots of curly, wavy red hair. Almost reminds me of an Irish person, that, don't know why. This one's the High Priestess. She's got a very groovy gown on. She's almost goth-like, isn't she? With her long straight hair and her crown. And her orb in her hand. Dropping flowers everywhere. She's in control. Up the stairs to her beautiful pastures in the background with flowing water and green fields. Either side of her she's got 2 columns holding up the archway. Very tall, elegant lady. The Knight of Wands, he looks like a defender, doesn't he? Somebody who's carrying a message again, with the knight carrying his torch, blazing. He's got a quiver full of arrows, and he's on his winged horse, flying across danger. He's protecting, isn't he? Protecting by the looks of things. Flying over the dangerous hills and away. On his Pegasus. That was the winged horse, wasn't it? Pegasus. Blue wispy sky, almost a Bob Ross kind of sky back there with the wispy clouds. Very pretty. Let's see if we have some room for some more here. 1, 2, 3 fell out. Let's have another one as we've just done 4. Yeah, some of these can be quite sad, can't they? 6 of Cups, the lonely lady, looking in her cup of life, sitting by the seaside, maybe waiting for someone to come back to her. This is the Two of Swords. This is somebody in the middle of a battle of some sort, isn't it? Parental or something as trivial as you can't park there anymore. Four of Cups, that's whispers, gossiping, isn't it? Gossiping and whisper, and someone's in the middle and people are telling them one thing and another person's telling them something else. But they're sitting in this, underneath this kind of Greco-Roman facade here with a relief on it of people. More columns, more blue sea, very Mediterranean, I think that, don't you? But I think that's got a lot of whispering of gossip, but not necessarily the truth. This is always a lady I like to see, sitting under a similar archway. Two tall columns with an archway over and a relief on it, people dancing. She's got a wise old owl on her shoulder, the scales of justice in one hand and the sword of justice in the other. Sitting there with a heavy eye makeup on and a big hat. I always think that this checkered floor, I was thinking a little bit Alice in Wonderland. Do you think? Does that remind you of Alice in Wonderland? Nice card though, at a time when you're feeling that bad and you turn to somewhere for some help. What else have we got? At random. That one, and that one, and that one, and that one. Oh, again, someone being protected, someone's out to get you. There's always somebody out to get you, but there's somebody there protecting you. Let this person rest. I am here to give this person time to rest. I've got my sword defending, my headdress and my armour plating on. And you bunch of harrigans can go and play up your own end. Go on. The Ten of Swords. The Eight of Swords. This is not so much defending like the Ten. This is, you've been a naughty boy, haven't you? Well, I was just, all I was trying to do was, and I didn't mean to, and it fell out my hand and it smashed on the floor and it wasn't my fault. Looks like Daddy going, what have you done? Well, I'm sorry, Dad, it wasn't my fault. Well, you've broken their window. That's what that kind of thing looks like, doesn't it? And the Six of Wands, it's the man with, he's got the golden fleece, hasn't he? The golden fleece, Jason and the Argonauts. And all the people in the background are either welcoming him or sending him off with his lacy shoes on and his knee-length frock. He's been triumphant at something, hasn't he? Very triumphant by the looks. Looks a bit smug. Always worry about the poor animals in these scenarios, don't you? Queen of Swords. She's got it all going on, hasn't she? I wear turquoise. I've got a big sword and I don't care if I spill water. I'm that much in control. I'm the guardian of the mountains. Yeah, very strong lady, that. Met a few of them in my time. She too is wearing a tiara by the looks of things. And some kind of pattern on her throne. Rectangular maze-like, almost Egyptian, really. That was the Queen of Swords. Let's see what else we've got going on. Three of Wands. That looks to me like a man going, yeah, I've got the power. I know you're a king and you're giving me all this wealth, but I'm the one in control. That's pretty good, isn't it? How would you like to be there? To be that person? Be the person who's in control. We'd all like to be there. Got this lovely flowing river in the background. Life's not passing this person by. Not at all. This is cute. This reminds me of those medieval Robin Hood kind of movies that we used to see on the TV. 1940s, 1950s Hollywood version of jolly old England. And a young man, curly-haired page, I used to know somebody with hair just like that. And he's looking into the cup of life there, isn't he? Idyllic little scene with a river flowing by and bluebells and daffodils and lush green trees bent over the water's edge. Very idyllic little restful place, that one. Oh, here's something a bit not like justice, judgment. What was it? I think it was Dashiell Hammett said when he was speaking through one of his characters in his books. The law is not fair. The law is just the law. And that's what I always think of when I see this card, Judgment, with his winged helmet and his cloak of red and his twisted snakes. That's a bit like the medical symbol, isn't it? Which the name of which escapes me at the moment. And he's got wings on his heels. He's meant to be somebody from mythology, isn't he? And he has the power over these poor old has-beens. Judgment. Yeah, it's not necessarily a good thing, judgment, is it? We all like to think we're correct, and then a judge comes along and says, afraid not. Especially when you've got beauty in the background, just a few short steps away, but you've got the judge blocking your entrance. The Five of Wands. Look at me, I can slay dragons. The dragon he's the golden fleece. Maybe this is the one before the Six of Wands, where the guy with the red frock wins the golden fleece from maybe St. George, who knows, from the dragon. And a bit of a hippie chick going on here. Florence and a Machine, maybe, with a long flowing gown. She could do with some product in her hair, though. What do you think? Let's have a look at a few more. 1, 2, 3, 4. Any 4 at random. I find these things very interesting. The mythology in the background that's gone into them. Ooh. So, Six of Swords. It's a man on a journey, isn't he, on turbulent seas. I think he has to choose which sword to keep and which to divest himself of as he reaches the distant shores. A new horizon, coming to the end of his journey. Start a new life with his long flowing cloak of lilac to protect him from the weather. Hopeful card, that, I think. Here we are. This is me. I've often been accused of not necessarily tomfoolery, but risk-taking. Always been prepared to have a go. So many people aren't prepared to have a go, are they? But I've known quite a few people who've had a go. You know, what do the SAS say? It's who dares wins. I think that you've often got to try. if you don't try, you don't know. And he's prepared, this fool is prepared to step off the cliff and have a go because, look, hey, you've got the potential for a new life here. There's sunshine, a new dawn. Got an eagle protecting you, sitting on the branch. Yeah, sometimes it's good to be the fool. The tower. Now, this doesn't mean these things are never straightforward. They look menacing or they look happy or whatever. It isn't necessarily all about that. It's the tower is something. It's change that you've got no control over. Change is going to happen. It's up to you to make the best of it. Because change is going to happen at turbulent seas, raining skies, thunder and lightning. But you have the opportunity. You've got a big trident. You can fight your way through. You've got to lift your chin and look forward. The Empress. She's a very groovy. This really is Florence and the Machine, isn't it? With the long, strange frock. And in her fields of clover, fields of barley, beautiful life-giving water in the background, and the river flowing through her valley. She's collecting her harvest. She has the crown of her world on top of her head, her rosy cheeks and a Mona Lisa smile. Yeah, very happy. Very happy. Everything in the garden is rosy, isn't it? Nice little card, that. Let's pull out another 4. Let's see what we've got. Queen of Cups. She's quite serene, isn't she? What do you think? She's got her eyes gently closed and pondering the world, pondering the life of the cup. Thy cup runneth over. She's got a golden apple in her hand and snakes entwining her throne, which she's not bothered about, is she? As she blends into the water. Mother Earth, maybe. The sea in the background. Green pastures all around. Fresh new life growing at her feet. Serenity. I like that. Oh, your hands are tied. You've got, I've chosen that cup, but I'd quite like that one over there because he's quite pretty. I fancy him, I think, but I've made a decision here. My hands are tied. And he's going, well, you could have this one. You don't have to have that one. Temptation. Naughty boy. You have to be careful of temptation, don't you? Sitting on rough weather in your little island of hope. Yes, be careful. The other man's grass is always greener. Ah, the hermit. I think we've all been accused of being a hermit at some time or other, haven't we? Those of us who have grown up anyway. We've chosen to shelter ourselves from life and just, I was going to say plough our own field, but maybe it's cut our own grass. Yeah, it's not always a good place to be, the hermit, but sometimes it's good to take stock. He's always got light. You notice there's light, so he can light his way if he chooses. Sometimes you just need to be on your own for a wee while. Still beautifully drawn, wonderful robes. The scythe, you can see the wood grain and see where the handles are. And his only friend is a crow. We've got a few of those around here as well. I mean literal crows, not metaphorical crows. The Eight of Wands. This really is a journey, isn't it? A far-off journey in a big ship with a prow that seems to be smiling, and an eye to see the way forward, and being led by dolphins and prettiness. An adventure, do you think? An adventure. There's a ladder there to be climbed, a ladder of success. And have your wands to show you the way. Turbulent seas, though. What else have we got? The Four of Swords. It's like a sword dance, isn't it? A Highland dance. Choice, do you think? It's about choices. Which choice do you make? He doesn't look particularly perturbed, though, does he? It's like, oh well, I suppose I have to choose one of them. I'll choose one of them. It's not his. Doesn't look to be the biggest reason for him to do anything, does it? Oh well, I'll choose that one if I have to. It'll get him off the stony ground anyway. Move him away from the mountains. This is a pretty one, isn't it? She's looking up to her own self, I think, her own self-image, as she feels she should be. Which choice do I make? Well, don't make the choice of the Two of Cups, the lady who's tied. Options. It's good to have options, isn't it? You're not tied to your little island, then you can spread across the world. Go and have a look at different seas, different horizons, different vistas. Long hair's in. The Ace of Wands. This guy's got some strength, hasn't he? Holding the world in his hand. He's got his golden fleece over his shoulder. He's got an enormous staff of fire, with his wonderful crown and necklace, and the gold braid around his dress. It's a man of power. Man of power. This is very Greek god, isn't it? The sun, not the newspaper. He's playing his little harp there. He's got his bow for protection, his manly chest, his manly legs. The sun shining out, well, he is the sun. The light of the sun shining out of his head, and his golden wings to take him wherever he pleases. Everything in the world is good by the looks of that. Should we do some more? I'll tell you what, let's do another 4. And we're about halfway through then, aren't we? Do another 4, and then I'll do the rest another time. Here we go. King of Swords. This is a man with a decision to make, isn't it? Looks like a Scandinavian king, doesn't he? Canute. He's sitting on his triangular emblazoned throne with his big crown, his big Scandinavian beard. He's got a sword, and I know what I'm doing. I'm the man in charge. You have to say yes, please, to me before I let you cross the mountains. Yeah, big, strong man. It's a sorry one, isn't it? Somebody having to leave something behind. Somebody having to go on their merry way and leave behind their life and their former way of being. They don't necessarily want to leave, but sometimes we have no choice but to move on. These things are all metaphorical as well. It doesn't mean that you've got to sell your house and leave, but it's a metaphorical leaving of a situation and going to somewhere else. But these things, of course, can be good depending on what it is. We've all left scenarios and situations, and when we've got to the other side, life has been better. Indeed it has. Oh, picked out a few bad cards here, didn't I? Really? That's a man who looks like he's building an arsenal, doesn't it? It's all gone terribly awry around him, and he's had to get himself some defences, build up an arsenal. I think that's what that's about, a metaphorical arsenal. And this one, there's that man again, telling the little boy off again. You've been naughty. Which of these do you want to be spanked with? Well, on that note, I'm about a little less than halfway through. I'll leave it there for now. We'll come back another day and do the rest of them. And see some happiness, some strangeness, some bit rude. Buxom lady, one when he doesn't know what to do, all that kind of malarkey. We'll have a play with these and see what fun we can come up with next time. So for now, that's me. Take care. Stay safe. See you soon. Bye-bye.